In autumn of 2021, Onca Gallery collaborated with artists Josephine Chime, Kyla Harris and Lou Macnamara, Evan Ifekoya, Keith Hennessy, and Carmen Papalia and Heather Kai Smith to produce a thoughtful group exhibition called Making Care. Making Care was a project which asked how arts organisations can collaborate with and care for artists whose work explores themes of care. Supported in their autonomy by Onca, with space and resources to think through their needs and wishes, the artists explored care and access in rich, radical and varied ways to co-create an exhibition and programme.
Hello, my name is Josephine Chime. I'm an East London-based multidisciplinary mixed media artist, and I am standing in front of my artwork called Conversations with Myself. So I'm a dark-skinned, tall, brown woman wearing a black weird cardigan, and Conversations with Myself is a photo collage mixed media piece. It's a portrait of myself. There's two separate paintings, mixed media artwork paintings, and they're black and white photo collage with gold textures on them, and it's bonded onto a green plywood.
Hi, my name is Evan Ifekoya. I am a brown-skinned, genderqueer person sitting in a chair, a black rocking chair. I'm wearing a blue tie-dye, almost sky effect jumper, and a collar is peeking out. I'm sitting in front of my installation, A Blissful Encounter, which is a chalkboard wall that also doubles up as a wall divider, and it is shaped into an octagon. On the floor is a blue woven mat that is very much like the one that I have in my home. There is two black cushions on the floor as well for people to sit on, and there is a wah-wah pipe for playing the 528 Hertz frequency.
Cool. Well, first off, it's great to see you. I feel like we've only, as of recently, we've just met through this process, but we've only seen each other online for quite some time. But yeah, I think that it was really exciting for us to bring both of your work into this exhibition. And I'm just going to throw this out there, because I was talking about this with Keith actually online, and right now it seems like a lot of institutions are talking about care. And actually, right? And actually there's a lot of galleries with beds in them as we speak at this moment. What are you feeling about that? What do you think about that? Why do you think that is, as makers and movers and shakers?
I mean, I've definitely noticed it as well. I think, we're definitely in a moment where within the wider cultural sphere, more people are talking about self-care and well-being, and there's just more of a well-being industry. There's more meditation apps. I think this idea of caring for ourselves is more within the kind of Western capitalist discourse. But I think there is some problems with that, because it also does create this kind of individualizing of care. It's as long as you're caring for yourself, that's what matters, right? As long as you're taking care of yourself. And then I wonder, with the art world, is it kind of noticing that and wanting to be part of that conversation, but then still somehow not really looking at how it's also kind of complicit in some of these structures, and also how it has its own problems around care, taking care of artists, and even, you and I kind of, if I can bring this up in this moment, we're talking about how this process was quite different to some of the ways that we've, had dialogues and interactions with, arts organisations before, where there hasn't been a lot of care. So I do also feel a little bit cynical. I came into it a little bit cynical, to be honest, about what it means, to bring to frame a show around that kind of statement. Yeah.
I also have to say, as a co-facilitator, I felt a little bit inept. What can I do to care for people? And how I'm do I feel it's weird, almost an imposter syndrome around just taking care of people, which because there's a lot of not necessarily there's a lot of needs or anything. It's just that I think that framing it that way was difficult for me in the beginning.
I think this process for me has been quite a really great, much needed learning journey. It's being aware that not everyone experiences art the way that I do. I generally would classify myself as an able-bodied person. So just for when we did, for example, when we did the online get-togethers, the process of making care, the group show, the point of us describing ourselves, I didn't really do that at all. And then I was aware that, hang on a second, people actually do need the description. And one of the artists is, I'm not sure how to describe whether he's visually impaired.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Carmen,
yes, he's doing a workshop with me. Yeah, and then that's when I realised, obviously Josephine, is needed. And it made me a bit more mindful in appreciating how other people do want to experience art, and they just do it in a different way, and you need to be able to give them not necessarily the tools or space, but just be more open to go a little bit beyond the basic information to help them be able to experience art in different ways. So yeah, the process of being on the Make a Care show really highlighted that for me, something that I really did need.
I'm Kyla.
and I'm Nadia. Together we're Kyla and Nadia.
Making Care at Anka. My name is Kyla Harris, and I'm an artist, writer, filmmaker, who knows what title I have. And I'm an activist. I am a woman of color in my 30s with long, shaggy, brown hair and light brown skin and smudgy red lipstick and really big gold chain necklaces. And I'm wearing a navy dress that serves as a blanket. And I am sitting in my power chair called Edna.
My name is Nadia, and I am a 39, soon to be 40-something-year-old woman, identified person. I have short, curly hair, I'd say caramel-colored skin, and I'm wearing a glorious dark, I would say forest green, but more goth-colored lipstick on my lips. It's very nice. And I'm here today to interview Kyla about the show and to talk about the exhibition a little bit and how it came to be. So, Kyla, do you want to introduce the piece that you brought in here today? Or, a while ago, but now we're talking about it.
Yes. A while ago, I co-created a film called It's Personal with my collaborator, Lou Macnamara. And it is essentially a reality TV observational documentary hybrid where I give Lou, who's normally a camera person, 7 days to learn how to do my 24-hour care without ever having seen it before. So we kind of say that she swaps cameras for catheters in this reality TV style challenge.
Okay, so I'm obsessed with reality TV and just TV in general, and I have to say that this is like one of the most provocative first episodes I've ever seen. And it really is kind of a standalone piece as well, and it also is present in this gallery. And can I ask if that was your intention when you made it, to be so multifaceted and able to be enjoyed in like different kinds of settings?
Well, Lou and I both come from great question, Nadia.
Thank you.
Lou and I come from a background of being artists, and we both kind of transitioned into filmmaking for various reasons, and I've returned back to it. So I think because of that, we've just been really flexible about how this can be viewed in the context in which it can be viewed in. And I think what I love about this exhibit at Anka and how we've contributed to it is that we've kind of made it into an installation where we haven't done that. You know, usually you see films or, you know, a TV at your screen at home or in a cinema. And it's really lovely to bring in this bed, which we have brought in, and a kind of backdrop of plants, books, and side tables, so that it's kind of an immersive experience. There's a lot of my bed featured in the film, and so it kind of reflects that sense of domestic space, and we've been able to bring it into Anka, and I think it just works really effectively.
I also think so. I feel like this bed is a really inviting warm space. There's books, there's toys, sometimes there's snacks. It feels a lot different than your normal kind of gallery experience where you're watching a video and you're standing there with the ears on and like, oh, I don't know if I'm taking up too much time. I think that when we initially started talking about the show, me and Lydia, we were thinking about care and bringing all of these artists that we admired together who were looking at different aspects of care. And I think I just want to ask you, what was your kind of interpretive experience of coming into this exhibition?
Oh, so I suppose it felt like not like any other kind of experience that I've had, either making work in a fine art space or in a film kind of context, because it felt like there was this open, I felt like a curator as well. I very much felt like we all had it was a very democratic space where we were all able to put forward our ideas and work with our varying capacities as well. So it felt like this very flexible, forgiving, supportive way of creating an exhibit. And I felt that not only from the other contributors, but also from you and Lydia and Percy and stuff as well. So it felt like a really, I guess, like nurturing and safe space to be creating an exhibit. And that, to me, is also reflected in the title, like Making Care. There wasn't anything kind of hypocritical about that, or, you know, and everything was extremely considered, you know, from the wall color and how we can kind of change the perception of like the white cube, and how we can also have those discussions about what makes care in an exhibit.
Yeah, I have to say too, like, it's interesting when you are a facilitator, which technically means like you are like leading something, but I felt so led by the artists and also led into the directions of like great books that I hadn't heard of, and I'm a nerd, so that doesn't happen so often. And also just like new friends and having this kind of like the times that we could meet online, it just felt really fun, and I was like looking forward to it in a time where Zoom calls were not my favorite. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Nadia. I feel like this is like a mutual appreciation club.
It is.